All right, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Living the Dream podcast. Today on the show, we are going through Proverbs chapter 3, verses 13 through 14, and it reads, "Blessed is the one who finds wisdom and the one who gets understanding, for the gain from her being wisdom, is better than gain from silver, and her profit better than gold." So, jumping right into it, what is it? What did I take from this? Honestly, straight up, knowledge is better than money. Like that last verse, verse 14, for the gain from her is better than the gain from silver, and her profit is better than gold. Like in Proverbs, we keep kind of seeing that blessed is the one who finds wisdom and the one who gets understanding. But this time it brought it directly into money, and it's talking about how the fact that knowledge is better than money. And when I think about this in an entrepreneurial sense, it reminds me of what Alex Hormozy said about skills and resourcefulness being better than capital. Like when you look at billionaires who went to zero and then they went back to a billion, or you look at millionaires who went to zero and went back to a million, you see it several times in Alex Hormozy's story himself, right? It's the skills and the resourcefulness that they relied on when they were at zero to get that capital again. And so when you have wisdom in the entrepreneurial space, when you have wisdom in life, when you have wisdom in relationships, you can go to a metaphorical zero in relationships, in life, in business, and or a literal zero, and you can get back to where you were, if not greater, because of the you have the wisdom that is on par with that level. And because you have the knowledge of getting to that level, you'll know all the shortcuts, you'll know all the things you need to avoid, and you will be able to get there again and recreate it from that wisdom. Without that wisdom, you have to start literally from zero and you have to acquire the knowledge again, which takes a really long time to do, and the habits and the skill set and the character traits. You have to acquire all of that stuff again. But when you have wisdom in a space, you have the skills and hopefully the habit of resourcefulness, and that can demand all the capital in the world. So where has this shown up in my life? First, in learning about the four types of leverage: capital, labor, tech, and media. Basically, if you can employ other people's capital, other people's labor, tech, or social media content or media to attract other people's attention, the more you can pull one of these levers, the more one input equals multiple outputs. So you can put in one piece of effort and get 50x the outputs as opposed to one cold call to one contact. You could do one piece of content to 50,000 contacts, right? If you have 50,000 followers. And so you pull these levers and the four types of leverage, and that is a skill, that is resourcefulness, right? And there's knowledge around how to pull these levers, and that's knowledge I'm still gaining, as a lot of people are still gaining. But just the four types of leverage in my head have done a lot for how I view the world, how I look at business, and how I think about implementing who, not how. So that's kind of the knowledge section of where it has shown up in my life. Just me learning from Alex Hormozy, me learning about business and being like, oh, what I really need to be doing is leveraging. Like if my day is full of one-to-one activities, meaning one cold call to one contact, I'm probably not setting myself up for success, as opposed to if my day was filled with running an ad, that's going to be a run one ad, get 50 leads, as opposed to make one cold call, get one lead, right? I think that that leverage will set me up for success better. And so it implements in my life when it comes to podcasting. And then I would say sales, marketing, as well as communication. So these are skills that I have to an extent, right? I wouldn't say I'm a master at sales. Definitely not a master at marketing. And I would say my communication's kind of on point. My weakest point in sales is just the reps. Like, having gotten the reps in, I would say my closing skills aren't the best, because closing skills and then getting product market fit, which isn't really a sales thing. But I always find myself with prospects that either don't have enough money, or maybe I'm just not overcoming that objection, and I don't know which is which. So, yeah, I would say my knowledge in these areas, whether it be podcasting, sales, marketing, as well as communication, have helped me land jobs, will help me land future jobs, and more importantly than any job it'll help me land, it will help me be successful as my ventures continue to grow. So as my podcast continues to grow, as the businesses behind my podcast and the businesses behind Left with Love that are going to profitably raise the standard of living to middle class America across the world, the businesses that are going to help do that are going to be laid upon a foundation of solid podcasting, which is grabbing that attention from the world and then directing that attention somewhere. And then once we direct that attention somewhere, we're going to be selling them. And the marketing happens through the podcast and the content we post from the podcast. And then communication is just when I'm speaking on stages, speaking at my own events, and just talking to people in a life coaching setting, whatever it may be. All of these skills are going to be the foundation of companies that are going to change the world. And so that's where it is showing up in my life. Currently, I'm building those skills, building that resourcefulness, the resourcefulness when it comes to real estate. And I'm thinking about other people's capital. It just helps me focus and be resourceful in a way that is helpful for me and for the people around me. So where do I want this to show up in my life? I want to really master the skill of capturing and multiplying attention and then generating leads from it. So with the podcast, I've been posting for a while now, but I don't have a ton of views that are consistently hitting. And so I need to A, capture that attention, and then B, multiply that attention and generate leads from it. So I've kind of told you where it's shown up in my life, just thinking about the 4 types of leverage and then how my knowledge on podcasting, sales, marketing, and communication, I'm developing those skills. It's helping me land jobs, helping me demand more capital in the marketplace, which is why those skills are more valuable. The skill I want to master is capturing and multiplying attention for the sake of my podcast and then generating leads from it for the sake of my businesses on the back end. Another way I want to show up in my life is teaming up with more successful people. So when I think about capturing and multiplying attention, I think of Russell Brunson, Traffic Secrets. And this was the first time I thought about traffic in this way. He was like, it's not something you generate. Traffic is something that's already flowing, and you simply have to get in front of the traffic and hold out kind of a divider, and you'll catch some of it as it goes by. And this was profound to me because I thought I was generating traffic from zero. No, I am figuring out where my ideal client is and then getting in front of them, whether that be on another person's page, commenting on their posts, whether that be through an ad, whether it be through getting on somebody else's email list, whatever it is, guest speaking on podcasts or stages. There are ways to get in front of people that are your target audience. So first you need to know where your target audience is, and then you need to go there. Very simple, but I missed that part. I thought I was just kind of shouting in the desert alone, hoping that people popped up in an imaginary world, right? I don't know why I thought that, but hey, you get knowledge and you're like, how did I live like this before, right? So capturing and multiplying attention is really getting where the traffic is, putting out your little barrier or whatever to catch some, and then have them go tell their friends because your content is so good, right? And so teaming up with more successful people that have more value to add to the marketplace than myself, or teaming up with people to create an offer so good that people can't ignore it, and offer a free content, by the way, that's so good that people can't ignore it, and then have a back end offer of paid content that's so good that people can't ignore it. Like, that is done by teaming up with successful people. I want to hone that skill as well, because I think everything I've tried to do, I've tried to team up with people at my level or below my level. And instead, I need to expand my mind, expand my creativity, and figure out a way to add such value that I'm able to team up with people above my level. And then I'll be able to generate traffic above my level, right? So how can you guys apply this to your life? Ask yourself the questions, what skill is going to take me to the next level? And then how can I be more resourceful and use who, not how, to my advantage? So what skill you need to develop and who do you need to meet to take you to the next level? These are questions I ask on my podcast all the time, but I think getting to the next level is pretty simple. It's eliminating the stuff that's stopping you and then adding the stuff that will take you there, right? And that in and of itself may not be easy, but it is simple. So thank you guys for listening. We will see you on the next one. And on that note, we're out.